why this bomb was never meant to explode. Blue Peacock nuke. In the 1950s, Britain came up with one of the strangest nuclear weapons ever conceived. It wasn't just dangerous. It was powered by chickens. No, seriously. The project was called Blue Peacock. The idea? Bury nuclear landmines in West Germany to stop a Soviet invasion. If the Red Army rolled in, boom. But here's the issue. Germany gets cold. Real cold. Too cold for the bomb's components to stay functional. So the British engineers had an idea so absurd, it sounds made up. Let's put live chickens inside the bomb. The logic? Chickens generate heat. Lock 10 of them in the bomb's casing with food and water, and their body heat would keep the nuke's electronics warm for up to 7 days. They weren't the trigger, they were the heaters. And this wasn't a joke on some dusty blueprint. It was officially proposed, tested in theory, and nearly deployed. But the plan was scrapped. Why? Fears the blast would destroy Allied towns and, well, probably the image of nukes full of clucking birds didn't help. Still, this wasn't the only bizarre Cold War idea. From pigeon-guided missiles to psychic spies. Desperation made people creative. And kind of crazy. So next time you see a chicken coop, just remember once upon a time, they almost became part of the Cold War's nuclear arsenal. If the world ends in fire, there's one mountain that might survive. Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado. Hidden beneath 2,000 feet of granite lies the command center designed to withstand nuclear war. It's not just a bunker. It's a city, power plants, water reservoirs, air filtration systems that can block chemical, biological, and nuclear threats. It was built during the Cold War to protect NORAD, the command that watches for missile attacks. The blast doors? 25 tons. The building? Floats on springs to absorb earthquake or bomb shockwaves. Even if nukes drop, the base can stay sealed for months. And today, it's still active, watching the skies, tracking threats, ready to issue alerts if a single warhead is launched. If World War III breaks out, this is where the last orders might be given. Not from the White House, but from deep inside a mountain. Welcome to humanity's doomsday headquarters. The most expensive war mistake in history, Zumwalt-class destroyer. What if I told you the US military spent $22 billion on a futuristic battleship? Only to build 3. And then turn the guns off. Meet the Zumwalt-class destroyer, a sleek, stealthy ship that looks like it sailed out of Star Wars. It was designed for next-gen warfare. Radar invisible, deadly accurate, and loaded with the latest tech. The Navy planned to build 32 of these ships. They were supposed to dominate the seas for the next 50 years. But then came the problem. The main gun's 155mm advanced gun systems used ultra-high-tech shells. Each shell cost around $800,000 to fire. Yes, one shot equals the price of a Lamborghini. It became too expensive to test, too expensive to fight. And when they cut production from 32 to just 3 ships, the cost per ship skyrocketed. Eventually, the Navy decided to shut off the guns altogether. The ships still sail. But their main weapons? Disabled. That's not just a design flaw. It's a strategic embarrassment. Some say they'll be repurposed for hypersonic weapons. Others say they're just floating reminders that money doesn't win wars, strategy does. In the end, the Zumwalt might go down as the most expensive war machine that never actually fired a shot. Most soldiers fight for one country, but Young Kyung-jong? He fought for 3 different armies, all in the same war. How? He was a Korean teenager drafted into the Japanese army during their occupation, captured by the Soviets in Manchuria, then forced to fight in the Red Army, where he was captured again, this time by the Germans. Guess what they did? Yup, sent him to fight for the Wehrmacht in France. When Allied forces landed at Normandy in 1944, US troops captured a confused soldier in a German uniform. Asian, terrified, barely speaking the language. At first, they thought it was propaganda, but his story checked out. 3 uniforms, 3 fronts, 1 man, just trying to survive. He was sent to a POW camp in the US, and after the war, he stayed. Quiet life. Never spoke much about the war. But his story is still told as the most unbelievable journey in World War II history. From Tokyo to Siberia to Hitler's Europe. He didn't fight for anyone. He just fought to live. Jumping from a plane at 18,000 feet without a parachute usually means one thing: death. But not for Nicholas Alcemade. In 1944, his bomber was hit by German fire. As flames engulfed the fuselage, he had 2 choices: Burn alive. Or jump. He jumped. No shoot. Just the night sky and certain death. But fate had other plans. He crashed through pine trees, hit the ground covered in deep snow, and blacked out. When he woke up, he was alive, bruised, burned, but walking. The Germans who captured him were so shocked, they even gave him a certificate confirming his fall with no parachute. Some called it luck, others, a miracle. But one thing's certain, he cheated death at 120 mph with nothing but trees and snow.